AIT Studios in Abuja, Nigeria. This is the O&M Sunday Show with Obiora Ilo and Mamode Akuga.
Hello and welcome to the O&M Sunday Show. My name is Mamode Akuga, and I thank you so much for joining us today, right after the vice presidential debates that you all saw on your screens not long ago. That's session one. 3 sessions coming up on the vice presidential debate today. We just finished the first session with representatives of vice presidential candidates from 4 different political parties. We'll talk about that later on the Sunday show today. But Obiora, my tag team partner, is here also.
Welcome to your Sunday show, the O&M Sunday Show. I am Obiora Ilo. Well, we just finished watching the vice presidential debate. Mamode, let me put you in the corner. Are you impressed?
Well, I will hold back my personal views. You know, of course, that much later in the day we're going to be talking to some of our guests on. I think we should leave that for our guests to tell Nigerians what they think about those vice presidential candidates. But let's leave it at that.
Are you dodging the question?
I'm dodging it. Maybe my comments will not sound too nice on a Sunday afternoon like this. Okay. So I don't want to make any comments whatsoever. But talking about debates, I mean, what has been of major interest to Nigerians really is the presidential debate, because a lot of people were hoping to see the 2 front runners in the presidential.
The 2 heavyweights.
The 2 heavyweights out of the 14 candidates, the 2 of them, PDP and APC. And suddenly, we woke up one morning to hear that APC says, look, the organizations organizing the debate have shown some level of bias, so we're pulling out. And so Muhammadu Buhari pulled out of the debates that will be organized by the Nigerian Elections Debate Group. But guess what? PDP has responded in a statement by the spokesman for the Jonathan Campaign Organization, Femi Fani-Kayode. He did say that they are ready to go to any debate organized by the APC. They have put the ball in the court of the APC and say, look, you organize the debate.
Let Lai Mohammed be the moderator.
Let Lai Mohammed be the moderator of that debate. And President Jonathan will show up on one condition, though, that it must be televised live to all Nigerians. I think that is a beautiful challenge. If APC doesn't take it up, there'll be a lot of question marks there.
Well, APC, the ball is in your court. Yes, you claim that the NEDG may be biased, but PDP is saying even with a biased moderator, they will be there.
A biased moderator like Lai Mohammed. The president will be there to take part in the debate.
And we'll wait to hear from APC. It looks like it's something they would like to take up.
It's not
because they're a very daring party. They're a very daring party.
At this point, Obiora, I don't think that it should even be something that they would like to take up. At this point,
they should jump at it.
They will not have a choice, because if at this point they still pull back, that means that their candidate, is really uncomfortable with a national debate, because they've said, look, you know what, do it yourself, and we will still come. And I think at that point, it more than shows that, the people who are accused of some bias, that PDP is ready to go whatever length to have that debate so that Nigerians can listen and watch the 2 heavyweights and be able to discern.
Let's go to the other bigger debate in Nigeria, the debate about whether the election should hold now or whether they should be postponed. There are a lot of speculation in the papers this morning. I can name names. The Vanguard this morning led with a speculation that it looks like INEC is having some challenges.
Yes, that
and maybe considering
that they actually have challenges. There's the report actually went ahead to detail some of the issues which affected the submission of names before you can go for printing of ballot papers. And those final lists came out last week, which means that they had not ordered the printing of ballot papers until that list came out, which means that the ballot papers have just been ordered. They wouldn't know if it will come before the elections of Saturday and all that. So actually, the speculations in the paper is that actually they might be having genuine problems, which probably will have allowed INEC to move the elections forward. But they are caught in a web right now, because if they do it, it will have some political coloration arising from the call by the National Security Advisor earlier on.
Well, I think what we are saying from here is that please, INEC, let the right thing be done. Nigerians expect the best. They want the election to be credible. Not just credible, it has to be fair. Then our votes must count.
So if they have to postpone it, if they have genuine problems, they shouldn't be ashamed to cry out to Nigerians that, look, we have genuine problems. And let us not go back to 2011 when they said, look, we are ready. We started only for us to have a failed start, and then we postpone it again. So let them do. INEC actually has the final say. They should not allow themselves to be influenced by any political party whatsoever. They should sit down, assess the situation properly. If they can go ahead on the 14th, all well and good, they go ahead on the 14th. But Nigerians will expect a successful election. If they cannot, they must be brave enough to let Nigerians know that, look, sorry, we're having this problem in-house and we have to move forward.
Well, those are the developments in the polity. Let's go straight to our program today. Our first guest on this program is lawyer Joni Icheka. Joni Icheka will be reviewing the debates that we just watched. He'll be joined by Professor Ekundayo Simpson, who is in Lagos, and also we have Temitope Olodo, who is in London.
Who also watched the debate and, of course, will be joining us much later in the day. What's been the issue of the environment in the elections? In other democratic climes and developed democracies around the world, the issue of environment plays a major role.
It's key.
It's key in elections. But here in Nigeria, the candidates are not talking about environment. Well, we'll have somebody who's been involved in environmental issues for quite a while. Is also involved in politics at the moment, and I'm talking of Tunde Imolehin,
who is also a broadcaster.
He had a program on the environment as well.
And ran a program on the environment for a long time.
Yes, we will be talking to him later on the show. And of course, finally for today on the sofa, we'll be joined by Sydney Diala,
one of the Nollywood veterans. He was also one of the pioneers of Nollywood.
What is Nollywood today?
What is Nollywood today, and what is he doing? Because we don't see much of him on TV and on Nollywood. All these and more when we return. Don't go away.
Yes, boss.
Young millionaire.
Ogami.
Young millionaire.
Ogami.
Osina watapuro garaya. Anyway, have your seat, And before anything, how far with the contract? Have you sent in your quote?
No, Chief. But it is ready. We will send the quotation first thing on Monday morning.
So, how much are you quoting?
10 million naira, Ogami. The materials required are now very expensive. The other materials are beginning to...
Young millionaire. You see, when you roll with people like us, you are supposed to be thinking. Add 50 million naira.
Did I hear you say 50 million, Ogami?
Grow up. If you want the contract, let us go ahead.
But Ogami, won't I lose this bid? Won't it backfire, Ogami?
See, the entire tender committee already likes you. Just because you are my boy, all you need to do, behave yourself, and all will be well.
Ogami, and I'm sure that you are the chairman.
Just let's drink. Congratulations already.
May your days be long, sir.
Oh, you mean longer than our longer throats?
No, sir. I can't be saying.
Call it whatever you like. You are now in the system now. You see? Just do as we tell you, and everything will be fine.
Yes, boss. Ogami.
Young millionaire.
Ogami.
Young millionaire. Well done, my boy. Well done.
It's the Sunday show, and of course that piece that you saw, which we got out of the internet, how contracts are awarded in Nigeria.
Sharing the cake.
Sharing the national cake, and of course the overinflation of contracts has been quite an issue that Nigerians have talked about, for a while. One of the problems we have to contend with, but one of the problems also we hope that solutions will come for when a new president is elected.
And one of the issues that was on the front line earlier this afternoon when the vice presidential debaters were on, corruption. And that leads us to our first guest, a lawyer, a public analyst. Joni Icheka is joining us now to review the debates. Joni, we're glad to have you in our studios. We're glad to have you in our studios.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Johnny,
Hi.
welcome. Sit.
Thank you.
And all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, we have Professor Ekundayo on the line. Professor Ekundayo, you're welcome to the O&M Sunday Show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Elo.
Well, we start our conversation while we're on it. Then Temitope Olodo
Will also
be joining us from London in the United Kingdom. Johnny, let me start. You watched the debates this afternoon.
Very well.
Are you impressed by what you heard? Are the issues being addressed? Are the worries of Nigerians being represented in those debates?
Well, quite frankly, this time is time of politics. I am not very much impressed by the answers being given by our aspirants. I am not very well impressed because they are not addressing the issues that the citizens are yearning for. If you tell one that you are going to provide employment, we need to know the indices upon which this argument is based. It is not enough to tell us that you want to give employment to the youths. You need to do statistical analysis, economical analysis, before coming out to say you are going to provide employment. If you are going to provide the employment, how do you do that? What is the population of the youth? Where are these sectors of the economy that you are going to improve upon? It is not good enough to say you are going to give free education as well. We need to know what you have on ground to do this. You come and say you are giving free education. How are you going to achieve that? What is the per capita income of Nigerians? What is the GDP of Nigerians? You will need to know this, because for you to open your mouth and say you are going to do this, you really need to know the statistical data of everything about Nigeria.
Okay, maybe we should bring in Prof.
Ekundayo.
Yes, Prof, you saw the vice presidential candidates. Let me just ask you a question that a lot of Nigerians are asking themselves as we speak. These contestants, which of them were you familiar with before today?
None of them. Absolutely none of them.
Does that leave you very worried?
Yes, to some extent, it leaves me worried. But then I should tell you frankly that two of those debaters had no business being there for the sort of post we are talking of. Two of them
Can you...
had no business being there.
Yes, which of them now would you be referring to?
I'm not sure it is necessary to say. I thought it was obvious. It was quite obvious that two of those contestants, participants in the debate, did not really have a place there. The other two were okay. They tried to address the issues as much as possible. But two of them,
Yes.
two of the participants, debaters, one sounded like a schoolgirl.
Okay, Prof, just hold on a moment. Prof, hold on a moment, because hello, Temitope, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Temitope has joined us from London. Please, Prof, go on.
So we'll come back to
so
it. Yeah.
I was saying one debaters should be sent back to SS1, if not JS3.
Why do you say that, Prof?
Because the person was really not in the show. The person did not know what to do facing Nigerians. And of course, she was shivering. You could see that her answers stopped short of. There was a time she actually said, I don't have anything to say about this. And they were talking of something as important as the oil industry.
Okay.
The moderator then had to drag a few words out of her mouth.
And
So
the second one, Prof.
And the second one, I think the grammar, the use of English was part of his problems. From time to time, he came up with some fine ideas which he could have expatiated on had he been better grounded in the use of English.
Okay, Prof, you just hold on.
We then had two people who actually were up to the task and did their best.
Okay, Prof, you hold on. You hold on.
Yes, please.
Temitope in London, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Temi, you watched from London, you watched the debates. What is your impression?
First of all, I think I must congratulate the panelists, the vice president. They are all eager to serve the Nigerian people. It's not easy to want to stand for the Nigerian people because they will want to speak nicely. But that said, there is a challenge here that most of them did not actually do their homework in terms of what the Nigerian people want. Some of the questions are all from Nigerians who are eager to know exactly the way forward. And on the issue of health, on the issue of trade union, issue of low crude oil, none of them, but none of them come out with policy. So if you look at the issue of trade union, questions were asked about how will you deal with this issue. And some of them said, yes, we understand, we sympathize with the trade union, but if you don't come up with any concrete approach on how do we address the issue, what policy will you put in place if you are in government? And I think most Nigerians will be looking at it and saying, if you can't even, articulate yourself effectively on how you will help Nigerians. Of course, you will have all the advisors to provide their support for you. You have all the special advisors. But the bottom line is that you yourself need to understand the concept of Nigerians. And I think this is where most of these individuals who stood up have failed.
Okay, you hold on, Temitope. Mahmoud, I guess you have a question for Johnny in the studio here.
Yes, John, earlier on you said that, they were not articulating the issues.
Problems,
but yes, but Prof did not just talk about whether or not they were not articulating the issues properly. For him, even two of those people had no business there. I don't know if you agree with that.
Well, because we are in politics, it doesn't really matter who comes. It is he who has the interest of Nigerians at heart, that has the zeal. You mustn't be a public figure before you contest any election.
But you're supposed to have
some level
interacted with Nigerians. A lot of us don't know these candidates. That's the point that Prof was making.
It has to do from where they are coming from. Maybe they had done some public service work, or like the lady said, that she's never worked anywhere. She's always been self-employed. Maybe she's garnered some sort of experiences.
You're talking about the ACPN vice presidential candidate.
Exactly.
Farida, Mrs. Farida.
She said she's not worked anywhere. She's always been self-employed. But the challenge that we have is that, just like Prof said, they are not articulate enough to really know what Nigerians desire. Because what we have now is a paradigm shift from what we used to have. Nigeria of today is no longer the Nigeria of 1979. And if it is so, you need to be forward-looking. You need to be a research-oriented person if you want to lead us. You don't just sit down without articulating anything and you tell us, days are gone when you come and say, you build roads for us. tell us the way you will get there.
Okay, Joni, let's go to Temitope in London. Temi, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because we don't have time, let's give you the last question now. What are Nigerians in diaspora expecting these presidential candidates or vice presidential candidates to be discussing at this time? What are Nigerians in diaspora thinking about this next election?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we want is really for them to come up with a good roadmap on how they will deal with the issue of the insurgency. We don't want all this firefighting approach on it. We want a clear timetable on how they address the issue, how they intend to work collaboratively, even within the opposition party, and how they will work together to address it. But more importantly, we in the diaspora now believe that it is time for us to have our right to vote. And we think we want one of the presidential candidates to come out and tell us how they will ensure that we also have to vote. But more importantly, put us going down, the problem with health, the problem with unemployment, cost it out. Tell us how you intend to do this and come up with innovative plan. Not just tell us, give us political statements, tell us how you cost it, what you sacrifice for other things to be able to come. And that is what you expect from a responsible government.
Okay.
From our candidates.
Okay, Temitope. Prof.
Yes, please.
Okay, yes. You sounded very unimpressed about two of the candidates. There are other Nigerians who will be feeling today that, look, these candidates just wasted my time for 2 hours listening to whatever they were saying, which was not good enough. Now,
Yes.
do you think, Prof? Yes, okay. Do you think that there should be some kind of a pre-debate qualification
Before the debate,
so that we don't have to agonize Nigerians, with this type of situation for 2 hours that they have to listen to. For instance, one of the candidates you said should go back to SS1.
Yes, you see, we are talking of candidates who could become the president of Nigeria the moment anything happens with to the
President.
So, can you imagine that young lady becoming the president of Nigeria come May 29th?
Okay, Prof. Prof, we must thank you.
I'm not saying that there have to be PhD holders, but there's a basic minimum required.
Okay.
What is the school certificate? Secondary school certificate, yeah.
A primary school holder should be able to communicate ideas to us. Not even the school staff, but we are talking of one or two people who really could not communicate.
Okay.
Apart from that, I think the two other persons, we could take them up on some of the issues. One mentioned the fact that 8 to 10 million jobs will be created in a year. That, yes, we should pin him down to say, how would you create those jobs?
Okay, Prof. I must stop you here, Prof. Thanks for your time.
Okay, thank
well,
you.
maybe
Thank you
by next Sunday we'll also be reaching out to you. But let me give the man in the studio the last word here.
Yeah.
What should be the issues discussed? Because the debates are coming on today again, and we're expecting that the presidential candidates will be here. We'll be talking about, we'll be debating next Sunday.
Yes.
What issues are we supposed to see? In a few minutes, please.
The issues, Nigeria have gone beyond the stomach infrastructure some people are preaching. The issues that should be talked about is the massive unemployment challenges we have. How do we take care of our youths? That is one. Our educational standards are going down. How do we improve on that? The private schools are taking over public schools. Should government sit down and watch this happen? These are some of the issues we should situate. And all those pretenders, all those people, aspirants that say they want to rule us, they should go to the National Bureau of Statistics and get statistical data to work with to tell us convincingly how they are going to make Nigeria better.
Thank you, Joni.
Thank you.
Well, the debate continues, and we urge all Nigerians, it is not enough for you to just go to the market, go somewhere else. Sit down, watch this debate, and call people that you need to call. Like, send us messages on this program. Tell us what you want to hear in the debates, and we'll make sure that these candidates get this information.
Yes, and of course, the next session for the debate comes up at 3 p.m.
At 3 o'clock,
yes, at 3 p.m.
So make sure you're there. When we return on the program, why is nobody talking about the environment? Tunde Imolehin is joining us. Don't go away.
Sit down, sit down, sit down. Good luck, sit down there. Sit down, sit down. Now beg we the beg, oh, sit down, sit down, sit down. Good luck, sit down there. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Now your seat, oh, sit down.
1957 kamo kwa boyesi. So one day chika iga watana muka bukwezi we. Masi good luck, transformation agenda. Unafugo kwa no manda. Oya check your calendar.
Sit down, sit down, sit down. Good luck, sit down there. Sit down, sit down. Now beg we the beg, oh, sit down, sit down, sit down. Good luck, sit down there. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Now your seat, oh, sit down.
Vote Good Luck Jonathan for president. Vote PDP. This message is brought to you by Directorate of Media and Publicity, PDP Presidential Campaign Organization.
Good luck, Ebele Jonathan.
He assumed office with a vision and a dogged determination to make a difference. Despite daunting challenges which could have destabilized our renewed march to greatness, he has remained steadfast in his quest to deliver the dividends of democracy to all Nigerians. All around us, evidence abound that he is working and enriching the lives of millions of our countrymen and women. Because he is humble and filled with love for our country, he has refused to be distracted. He is the first president of Nigeria to give a documented account of his achievements, and these are yet to be disputed. If he has been able to do so much in just 4 years, let's imagine what he can do with 4 more. Think Nigeria. Vote Good Luck. This message is brought to you by the Wind of Hope.
You're still watching the O&M Sunday Show. And it's a day of the great debates, as someone said. But we're also having our own little debate in the studio. Why is nobody talking about the environment? We have a broadcaster, we have an environmentalist, we have an architect, Tunde Imolehin, joining us now. Tunde, you're welcome. Good to see you.
This is a nice program.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tunde.
I call it a coup.
That's it.
But it's all right.
Yes.
It's going with the time.
We didn't add that, of course, very, very serious politician now. Yes.
Oh, politician.
And look at that. Tunde is wearing the APC button.
Character, truth to self. I mean, I don't shoot from two sides of the mouth.
So you're APC now?
Very much so.
Okay, but before we talk about APC, Tunde, why is nobody talking about the environment in this election?
Because for a very long time we have not been living a sustainable economy. We have not been living a lifestyle that is sustainable. And nobody cares about it. We're just a consumption nation. You know, imagine a country where there's less pollution and less devastation in the area and the devastating effects of climate change. Imagine a country that has a lot to consume and conserve. Imagine a country, right, with 0 poverty index. Imagine a country with clean air, clean energy. Imagine all this. Imagine a country with less corruption and other effects of maladministration and poor governance. Imagine a country where only the best is good enough for every vocation, for every action, and for every need, and for every endeavor. Imagine just that. What will happen to that country? Sustainability. For so long in this country, we have been consuming, we are not productive. How can we?
Let's zero in on the environment.
Yes. Tunde, I mean, I've not heard any of the presidential candidates talk about the environment. not even any candidate anywhere, whether it's for governorship position or talk about the environment. Now, if you go to the Niger Delta, the devastation caused by oil exploration activities, the spills, and the after effect that some of them take, well up to 30, 40, 50 years for the environment to recuperate properly. If you go to the east, the erosion there, pushing people away from their houses. Up north is desertification and all its implications on people living in those areas. Why is nobody talking about all this? And how can we address all this? Your party has not been able to come up openly to say, look, this is what we'll do to preserve our environment.
No, you're wrong.
So tell us about it.
You're wrong, because if MEFA that I'm a member of the party should tell you what we represent. The progressives are sustainable people. They look forward, they're forward-looking. We don't live in an environment where there's so much inertia, like what we have in the status quo right now. There's no green economy in this country. For so many years, we've been living a life that is not sustainable. Let me tell you this. In the Niger Delta, despite all the noise, the death of Kensariwa and everything, one would have thought by now we would have been looking at a constructive engagement of that caption beyond oil. And then we look elsewhere, we diversify our economy, we look into mining. I mean, my presidential candidate was talking about agriculture, was talking about mining, was talking about environmental compliance, was talking about so many other things the other day. I haven't heard anything like that from the president.
No, Tunde, let's talk about your presidential candidate. What has he said about how has he what has he said about sustaining the environment?
Or at least his party.
Yes, your own party.
I mean, you should have your party manifesto.
There's a green agenda,
okay,
which says that there must be a green budget. For a very long time at the National Assembly, we are not legislating for environment, whereas we have substantive committees to handle that. Our party is saying that yes, come May 29, that will flag off. We have to look at how we can bring about the green content into the appropriation. For so many years, we've been having a situation whereby we consume the capital budget. It's less than recurring budget. We spend most of our money on what do you call it? On recurrent. And this is not sustainable. You need to build infrastructures. When you build infrastructure, you protect the environment. You have to green the economy. By greening the economy, you see the example of Lagos, an APC state. The people are living, the kind of pollution that existed so many years ago are non-existent. I mean, I'm not saying non-existent, but they are reduced, So we have to look at a budget. We're talking about about climate change fund. That's another area. You may not know this.
Yeah, but yes. Let me talk to you a little bit about this non-budgeting for the environment.
You want me to talk about ecological fund?
Oh yeah, I want to bring you an ecological fund. Where they talk about misappropriation or misapplication of the ecological fund. In fact, only recently, former governor of Ekiti State, Fayemi, accused the current governor Ayo Fayoshi of misappropriating 2 billion ecological fund that he just picked up. I'm not using it at all for ecological activities. There is this agency set up for oil, to attend to oils, Nostra and all that. So the government has some intention.
Let me even tell you about Nostra.
Yes.
There was Governor Saraki, who is also an APC stalwart. I mean, somebody I respect so much. He actually puts up a paper and even called for a meeting to discuss Nostra. We were there. We made our inputs. The civil societies, the media, and all stakeholders were there. But for Christ's sake, just like the same problem we have with the Climate Change Commission, it took years for that to be signed by the president. The same problem we have in Nostra. You had about 55 million pounds that was paid in terms of compensation to the Niger Delta by Shaw. Shaw shared out that money. But for Christ's sake, that is just 1 millionth or trillionth of the massive the degradation that is in that area. So what I'm just trying to say, just wait. Mm-hmm. The case of Ekiti is just an example of how our governors, of how our leaders misapply and misappropriate funds that are meant to preserve and conserve the environment. But come May 29,
all that will change.
Oh, no. There's going to be a policy that is, honestly, there's going to be a policy that's going to look at greening the economy. It's in place. And already I'm very happy that our candidate is actually drumming into the ears of the electorate that we are going to live a sustainable life, a lifestyle that is not wasteful, a lifestyle that is sustainable, a lifestyle that will look at our resources because of the fact that they are not, I mean, oil, for instance, is non-resource.
Okay, Tunde, let's you know when you talk environment, you never stop.
No, it's my,
so
you
never stop.
And I'm angry.
But let me ask, because we have just like 2 minutes to.
Obiora, what are you angry about?
I'm angry. I'm sick. I'm sick of the situation of the status quo in the country because I was coming here to tell you something. That enough of all this desperation, enough of all this character assassination, enough of all this frustration. Let us be robust. Let's engage in robust engagement, robust analysis of the issues. The issues are there. The issue of corruption, the issue of insecurity, the issue of unemployment. These are germane. Joni came here and told you that most of our candidates are illiterates when it comes to policy formulation or policy understanding. But Tony, my friend, told me that we have stopped thinking in this country. The moment we really understand that we are in a state of mess and that we need a change in this country in terms of our ability to comprehend the situation, our ability to change the situation for the better for us. Okay. You see, let me tell you what happened to Lake in 1965, what brought about the change. And again, it was like a blackmail. And the guy said, no, okay, let's look inwards. This is an opportunity for us to turn our weaknesses to strengths, okay? And our threats to opportunities. It is not about a person, it's not about the personality of anybody. We are looking for how we can stabilize the economy, we can lay a foundation so that at least we can build on it, so that merit would be chosen at the expense of mediocrity.
Okay. Let me give you the last one. Let me give you the last one.
I'm worried that people come here, they come to a program, they come to other programs, and they don't address the issues. They come and character assassinate people here, irrespective. And my party, for instance, the fact that we are keeping quiet does not mean that we don't even have information. We have information, but we feel that we should be very decent.
Okay. You know, Tunde, you are coming across to me like you've been a politician all your life.
No, I'm a development
you are a colleague.
No, Mahmoud, all of us are political.
You are talking with so much passion now.
You know what Charles de Gaulle said? He said, if you leave the business of politics in the hands of the people, of these politicians, right, we're in trouble. And of course, Plato said so, that if you leave the same business in the hands of your inferiors, you will be led by them. And then we'll get what
let me give you the last word I said I was going to give to you, so that, you know, how do you sell the environment to the electorate? Because for them, they want to hear how they're going to put food in their stomach. They want to hear how they're going to get jobs. They want to drive on good roads and want electricity. Nobody wants to hear that, oh, the oil spill that you are seeing today will affect your grandchildren. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
We know poverty.
We
know poverty is an issue, and for a very long time we've been working around the clock to see how we can, mainstream, consumption, right, in the environment, because it's a consumption nation. We are not productive, right? Our GDP is not based on our level of productivity, but our level of consumption to a very good extent. And I feel that, yes, people, like, let me use the word, the case of desertification in the north. People call trees why? They fell trees why? They fell trees because they don't have any choice, they don't have an alternative. But if you provide alternative for them, right, you will see a situation that will change drastically. It is because there are no alternatives that people still take, the law in their hands. And I still say this with every sense of responsibility, that if a country means so well for the country and for the people, there is something people-centered policies should be germane. Let me just tell you this.
Tunde. Tunde, we are running out of time, Tunde. I was just going to ask you.
Let me make the presentation.
What is the political ideology of this program?
Let me make the presentation. Tunde, you're not the one asking questions here. We know you are
just answer the questions.
It's a pity that you have enough time. But for State, I'm the chairman of and we are running our campaigners from tomorrow on Tuesday.
Hold on to that. You're a guest on the O&M show.
So you keep this on your table. We are fighting, making sure we're protecting the environment with you. So this is a keepsake.
I can partner with you. And of course, Green TV is coming so soon. I hope you don't mind if
Thank you so much.
When we return, Sydney Diala will be with us.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my God.
I sold the land a few months back when my business...
I am Mamode Akuga. For almost 3 decades, have been involved in broadcast journalism, with the better part of that time in the gathering and production of news and news programs. I'm proud to have pioneered weekday morning news talk show on Nigerian television, first with AM TV Live on DBN Television and later with Kakaki on AIT.
I am Obiora Ilo. Over 30 years ago, I started my career at Radio Nigeria. Over these long years, I've presented several programs and interviewed hundreds of guests, men and women, the big stars and the not well known, the rich and the poor, politicians, movie stars, journalists, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as they say. You just name them. I've also covered events across the world, from Europe to America, from Asia and back to Africa, bringing first-class reports.
Now, together with Obiora, I will be coming to your screens 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, with the O&M Late Show.
Mamode and I will be bringing our decades of experience to bear on our new talk show, the O&M Late Show.
In our careers, we have blazed many trails and we are thrilled and ready to set new records with nighttime television. The O&M Late Show.
Your late night catch-up.
It's still the O&M Show. We are already on the sofa. And today we'll be talking with one of the pioneers of what everybody knows today as Nollywood. He was there at the beginning, and for some time now you've not seen him. Well, we'll be finding out what's going on with him. We're talking about Sydney Diala.
Wow.
Yeah, good to have you, Sydney.
This is a hot one.
Sydney,
yeah, good day.
welcome.
Yeah.
Please sit down.
Glad to be here.
So what's up?
Good.
What's been happening to you?
Good.
Good things have been happening
Good
to
things
you.
have happened.
Where have you been hiding?
I've not been hiding. I just took time to do 1 or 2 things and then get back to the track.
What was that you were doing?
Actually, let me say, not drilling. I went to the ministry.
You went to find God?
I've got God long ago.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I want to let people know more about God. You know, when you say that someone is called into the ministry, I didn't know what it means to be called into the ministry. I don't know what it means to pick the Bible and begin to preach. So I had to take my time to study, to know what I'm going to preach, what I'm going to say, if actually the voice I heard was the voice of God. People say these days that people, when they get a flash, they tell that God have called them. When some get some text message, you know. So it gets to fully be called by God. So I wanted to be sure I am called by God. I was ordained sometime long ago. I wanted to see what it means to practice, run a church, and then act movies. Because movie is my passion. I read theater at University of Port Harcourt. So when I got green light of actually what I was called to do, I now stepped back into acting. So I combine ministry work and then the acting profession.
So you were a full minister of God?
Yeah. As I speak to you, I jumped out from the pulpit straight to your station here. Yeah.
So you have your own church now?
Yeah.
Oh, how is that for you?
Good. Beautiful.
Any similarities between that
and Nollywood and acting?
You see, one thing about acts is that preaching is an act.
Okay.
It's an act.
When you climb the pulpit,
you
communicate to...
Yes, it makes it easier, you know. And most often when I preach, you know, I dramatize it, and it sticks in the mind of the people, you know, than quoting thoughts says. But when you do 1 or 2 things, it sticks in their mind. Like anything you see, you don't forget easily. So that is just that. Sydney has not left the industry. I'm still in the industry.
Okay,
well,
but
yeah, you go ahead.
Right. I can't place it, you know, because
yeah.
I remember Sydney from way back, the movies and all that.
Yeah.
A lot of younger
I remember him. I actually watched him acting on stage many years back.
And that's my best. I'm a trained theater person.
Yes.
By Alarotimi, late.
Okay, just Sydney, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit now. Just imagine that you just met me.
Yeah.
I'm an unbeliever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not born again. I don't believe in God.
Yeah.
What would you say to me?
No. Let me tell you a story. Yeah. The man who trained me, who I grew up under him, Apostle Madubuko, he told us a story of a young man who is doing pretty well now outside the country. He met the young man where he was drinking. And the guy was like, let's drink together. I said, no, I don't feel like taking any hot drink. Can I take a Coke or Fanta, you know? The guy didn't even expect him to sit down with him there in a beer parlor, you know. What am I trying to say? I will approach you in a way that will suit you. Whatever you agree to do, I follow it. But I'm giving you a bait. And at the end of the day, I will catch you. What do I mean? Sydney, okay, let's have a drink. Okay, no, but man, I'm full. Go ahead and drink. I want Coke. I want Fanta. Next tomorrow you call me, I come. As I'm coming and I'm talking to you and chipping the words to you, it's a seed. Before you know, we say, Sydney, how do I get God? I will unleash. I will say, let's pray. No, without any distraction. And you must.
Okay, Sydney. Sydney, you know, as we were talking,
yeah,
we were showing some of your films.
Mine?
Yes, and I know a lot of people will find it difficult to reconcile Sydney there and then this Sydney who is going to convict a lot of people and bring them to Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let me take you back.
Okay.
What was it like getting involved in Nollywood? And over these years, do you think that that dream a lot of you started that is coming true?
This way, you know, when we did Living in Bondage, that was what shot up the Nollywood, yeah. When we did it, I was doing a soap opera for NTA, then Memorial Hospital, directed by Chris Obirapo, when they called us to come for an interview, audition to do an Igbo film. And we were all laughing. Igbo film, when there's a mirror in the sun, there's checkmates, and they say, come to do Igbo film. And we were like, well, let's give it a try. Myself, Bobana Udoku, Kana Yopolo Gunjo for and the rest, and then Ken Okonkwo, as Andy Okeke, you know. We said, okay, let's give it a try. On getting there, it was palm. Well, let's just do it for the love of it. And from there, we began to move the train. If I tell you how much I was paid then, you won't believe it.
Tell us.
2,500 naira.
That was a lot of money then.
I won't forget it.
But it was a lot of money.
Yes, and I enjoyed it. I wasn't doing it to be paid. It's my passion.
I mean, you could have done it for free.
For free.
Yeah.
I still do for free sometimes these days.
Yeah.
Especially the Christian movies.
Forget the names. Yeah, forget the names. I'm doing one now already. Christian movie. I'm doing one already now. We're on location. So now we moved from that level, got to a different level. The level where we are now, I think, is a little better
than
compared to what we had before. You understand? Why? Because there's a level of movie making, step by stage. Then, like the kind of lights we have now, is not the light we had then. Then the makeup person will be on standby because we'll be sweating your life out. You know, cut, oh yeah, dab. They will clean you everything. At a point, you know, everything will get soaked. Now I believe that now we are graduating. But one thing I still find wrong with our people is this: our storyline. But one thing that says a movie, aside everything, is your story. Our stories are not tight. If you watch 5 Nigerian movies, you might just get one tight storyline. My son can tell you, Daddy, see, the same way he's moving now, he's going to enter that place and then do this. And if you watch it, it's going to be that way.
They are predictable.
Then we used to do what we call script conference, where 3 of us will sit down and he will start a story. You say, no, why don't we take it this way or that way? I say, yes, but if we get to that point, why don't we? You see, 3 brains coming together or 3 heads coming together now to build up a story. But this time around, a marketer, producer will sit in his house with the wife, build a story, write a story, call the director, call producer. This is how I want it to be. And that is it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Or they might just watch about 4 films and tell the scriptwriter, see, from here to here. Oh yeah, put them. Here, join them. This one, put them. They join. And they will call the same group of actors that perform in those movies to do it. And when you are watching it, in your mind's eye, it will look like, I've seen this movie somewhere. Why? a story that had been told before, now being reenacted in a different way, minor adjustment. No script workshop, nothing. So they just tell stories, and it goes like that. But I give kudos to the upcoming actors, directors, and movie producers, because they are putting everything, like what they are doing now, Igbo series. You know, if you come to our set, if I live here now, I'm going straight to location. If you come to the set and see what the director is doing there, my brother, we are going somewhere.
Okay.
So we are graduating.
Yes. Now, these movies that you do now,
yeah,
because like I said, a lot of younger people who didn't watch from the living in bondage days would not really understand who Sidney Diarra is. But you say you're still in production, you're still making movies, you're even going to set. So are they the same kind of movies you were making in the past, or your movies now influenced by, you know, your involvement in the
your vocation?
You see, say 3 years back, I've done movies that have been on African Magic. Like last month, I got calls from different people who, I'm watching your movie. Somebody called from Lokoja. Our boss just stopped at Lokoja. I walked into a place and they're showing you a movie. I said, what's the title today? I said, okay, fine. That was 2 years. Yeah. Now, what am I trying to say? I'm not compelled or moved by the fact that it's a Christian film or whatever, or to play a role that will contradict my belief. All I'm doing as an actor is to make believe.
Okay.
And my followers, let me use the word, or people I pastor, or people I preach to, understand that this man first is an actor.
Before being a pastor.
Before being a pastor.
If
you judge me by the roles I play in movies, then you're very wrong.
I think we leave it there, Sydney.
Yeah.
I think we end here. Mahmoud, we have a small memento.
When you come on the show, you must leave with a mug. I am a guest on the O&M show.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Wish you the best, Sydney.
Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's where we draw the curtain on today's program. I am Obiora Ilo from Abuja, Nigeria.
And of course, I am Mahmoud Akuga. Tuesday night, 11 p.m., we'll be back with the O&M Late Show. Bye for now.